Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great and exceptional day. Late, but better late than never, as they say. It's been a busy Thursday, even though it feels like it's Friday, but hey, it's all good in the neighborhood. Today's word of the day is communicable, meaning capable of being transmitted or communicated, talkative, things of that nature. A lot of times the best relationships, a lot of times the best friendships end because of the lack of communication. And a lot of times, and hell, I've been guilty of this myself, not being truthful and honest with individuals because you're trying to spare their feelings and things of that nature is always the wrong route to go. When it comes to friends, family, especially your significant other. That's one thing that I can say with, that growing pains, that's what life is all about. You live, you grow, you learn to live, you live to learn, and you learn to live. That's just the way life goes. But the growing pains of that is, like, with me, I'm considered to be quote unquote a jerk at times because I'm blunt with people. I'd like to display some sort of tact when it comes to my delivery. I'm not just trying to come at people cussing them out and being, who you think you talking, all that. But I'm straight up with people. That's just what it is. And I respect people. That's why one thing I love about New Yorkers, people from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, that tri-state area. They're probably the most honest people in the United States of America. And even people that live in the deep South and whatnot, some of the most honest people on the planet. They're going to let you know how they feel about you, whether they like you or they don't. They're going to let you know. I rock with that kind of energy. I like real people. Even if I don't particularly care for you, if you let me know who you are, I can at least respect you. All right. So today's quote of the day is from J. Cole. He says, "I want people to follow their dreams." Yes, but I'm not interested in telling young black kids how to be rappers. I want to show them that there's so many other paths you can take besides a rapper or a basketball player. And I love that quote because there's always been a stereotype, and I'm not knocking people who are in the entertainment business or who have done great at playing sports. I sucked as a rapper, and even though I was 6'4", I sucked at playing basketball. So you're never going to hear me talk bad about anybody who can play basketball, because that is a hard thing to do. Play football, baseball, any sport. To be a competitive athlete, you got to be phenomenal. And I don't care what team you're on, what league you've made it to, you got to be phenomenal because it takes a lot. So nothing, and to be a famous rapper, a famous actor. But the statement that he's making is that, hey, you can do so much more than just do that. There's other avenues, like, in great example, people who played in various different leagues, whether it's the WNBA, the NBA, NFL, baseball leagues. They've shown people that they become real estate moguls after their sport. They become, they become car dealership owners. They become lawyers. I think one football player, he actually, and even Marquita that's watching, hey, how you doing? She used to be in the WNBA, and now she works in the mortgage industry. But even one football player, I think he became a surgeon. So it doesn't mean that you have to, that's the end of the line for you. Because most people's career paths nowadays is, in a sense, kind of like people who are in professional sports, because you're not going to be able to do it for the rest of your life. Most people, like this, I always say, these kids that are coming out of high school and college now, the military now, they know that just doing one thing for the rest of their life, like my generation and previous generations before me were doing, just having the one career path and just going forward with that, those days are kind of over with. That's the day of yesterday and whatnot. Today's job market is differently. Today's skill sets that are required to compete in today's world, global economy, is different. So that's just another thing to take into consideration. But what J. Cole said is real. Because he wants people to look at him and say, hey, I could do that, but I can do other things all at the same time. This is, rest his soul, Tupac, rest his soul, Nipsey Hussle. They had that same mindset before they were brutally killed, unfortunately. They were like, yeah, there was so much more that you could do. It's like Nipsey Hussle was what Tupac would have became if Pac would, because remember, Pac was killed, he was like 24, 25. Nipsey was killed when he was 33. So if Tupac would have had more years to live on this planet, maybe even another 10 to 20 years, the amount of things he could have built, the infrastructure he could have put into play, it would have been more on a business level, especially if he would have got away from Suge Knight. But it's just because the things that Nipsey Hussle did and was going to do was, from an economic perspective, being one of the greatest rappers was becoming this small and this important to him. But the real estate he was buying, the store that he had, the schools that he opened up, the partnerships that he was creating, the investments that he was making, that was growing into the bigger thing that was out of this world, like the spaceship that's behind me. All right, it was out of this world, and that's what myself, and I'm sure anybody else who has kids or has children in their family, wants to see the younger generation to be able to, you know, buzz outside of this atmosphere and forget any stereotypes, and whatever you're good at, that's great, but you can be great at multiple things. Maybe not at the same time, but in this life, you can be great at multiple things. And always remember that. Regardless, don't ever let a teacher or anybody tell you that you can't be what you want to be. It's all about the mindset, as my brother Ronald Samuel says. And if your mind is right, you get your money tight, you get your skills tight, then everything's going to be all right. On that note, do the great 3 things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. And as I always say, make money moves so you can live like a fool. Take care, family.